ordinary, express, service, diplomatic?
So the Ministry of Internal Affairs is obligated to provide immigration services, among other services, legal entry and exit of Ugandans and non-Ugandans. We do process passports for Ugandans and also even process passports for aliens such as refugees who are registered and who possess ID cards from the Office of Prime Minister. So as a center of immigration excellence and immigration service to Ugandans, we endeavor to do so many things, but all aimed at ensuring that our people are served to their best. To begin with, in a bid to bring services close to the people of Uganda who are living here and abroad, we are opening up a new passport center in Saudi Arabia, in a place called Riyadh. That's the capital city of Saudi Arabia. I think this will bring to a number of diaspora offices to 7 to 8 actually. We have an office in Pretoria, South Africa, helping Ugandans who live over there, and we have an office in Abu Dhabi, handling people in the UAE. We have office in Ottawa, handling people staying and working in Canada. We also have a passport office in London. We have Beijing, China. We have Washington, US. We have Copenhagen, Denmark. And we are planning to open one also in Turkey to help alleviate the passport problems of our people who live and work in those areas. So Riyadh is the newest passport center, and we hope to open it beginning of this coming financial year, 2025-2026, around I think in the month of August. Opening a diaspora office, one, is very expensive. As you know, you need, first of all, the infrastructure, the machinery, which costs a fortune. We also need to facilitate the manpower that work in those offices. So we have got to put in a lot of money. So one would then ask, why don't you have diaspora offices in all these other countries? The reason being, as I have mentioned, first the cost, but most importantly, we go to areas where we have many Ugandans. We cannot open these services areas where there are few Ugandans. It will not be cost effective for the government of Uganda. So what we do now, we first of all do some feasibility study by looking at how many Ugandans are living and working in an area, and that forms the reason or the basis for opening of that particular passport center. So when we went around, we discovered that so many of our people who live and work in Saudi Arabia find it hard to travel to United Arab Emirates, specifically in Abu Dhabi, to have their passports replaced when they expire. So it is the reason why we managed to convince government, and we were able to be allocated some money. And as I talk now, the majority of the processes have already taken place. The machinery, hardware is already in place. What is going to happen now, beginning the month of July this year, is to first of all assemble the staff that will go to sit there, and also assemble the other software that is remaining. So we do hope by end of August, probably beginning of September, there we shall have that office operational. What happens? What is going to happen in that office, in the Diaspora Passport Center? One, we are going to renew passports. we are not going to give new passports in that place. What we do, we renew passports for Ugandans who have gone there and have had their passports expired. So we renew those passports, and what happens to those who lose passports? Because of the challenges we have been having in the recent past, where some Ugandans have been involved in a fraudulent way of dealing in these lost passports, we have had to inconvenience our people, that especially those who lose their documents, to first return home and have them processed. The reason is that many people, especially around that area, the Saudi, the UAE area, have been in the habit of selling their passports to some non-Ugandans with the aim of making money. And of course, not knowing the dangers that may cause to the country as a whole, people simply want to make money, some $3,000, some $4,000, $5,000, and they easily sell these documents to some of those people who have caused some of the big problems, because we realize that most of these people who buy these passports actually do not use them to travel, they use them to traffic in drugs. Some of them were arrested, and when we intervened, because they were arrested with Ugandan passports, we discovered that they're actually not Ugandans. So that is the malaise we are trying to cure, because of it came as a result of people who declare their passports lost from time to time. Because we actually realized that some people have lost and replaced their passports up to 7 times. And these passports, we started issuing electronic passports in 2018 in December, but between 2018 2019 up to now, these are about 6 years, somebody has lost their passport 7 times. Somebody has lost 7 passports. Somebody has come to report 7 times. And we believe that is not proper. So we have got to work around it by, first of all, inconveniencing those who claim to have lost their passports to first return here, and to do a bit of cost-benefit analysis to see if it is viable for them to claim or to sell their passport to those people and then have it replaced by returning here. Of course, there are those genuine cases, a few, but we cannot differentiate. We can't tell which is genuine and which is not. So we now require everyone who loses their passport, especially around that area of the Arab and then the UAE area, to first return to the country and have their passports replaced. Because by doing so, we shall be sure of who we are giving our passports, 1. 2, we shall also be sure of the genuine lost passports, and then we shall have also done away with the fear of giving passports to people who don't deserve them. It has been going on, especially when we had the old regime passports, but it escalated when we started issuing the East African passports in 2019. That is the time everybody wanted to change their passports. Because of the fact that many people wanted to change their passports, everybody wanted to use that opportunity to survive. So even the fraudsters also came in that very big numbers of people who were seeking for our services. But ever since we changed the policy of replacing lost passports being done here in Kampala, we have reduced this to almost no case at all reported weekly. Back then you would find a week you have 100, 200 people reporting lost passports. But ever since we started that, these days you can see maybe about 5, and those are genuine cases now, 5 to 10 in a month, which used not to be the case. So we are managing, and we have handled that, and we have succeeded in having to require these people to come back here and replace their passports. So in that vein also, I want to warn Ugandans, especially those who would want to process passports quickly, those who don't want to approach passport center, to be very careful. We have Ugandans, even non-Ugandans, who are out there, very smart, they want to make money. Somebody would come to you promising to do your passport, promising very good things, promising you very good passport services, and promising to process a passport in just one day. Now, be very careful, because passport office does not deal with third parties. We have a fraudster in the names of Angela Kenya. This lady stays in the US, Seattle, in the US. This lady has been in the habit of scamming Ugandans and cheating them. She originally made these people believe that she is so connected to the system of US, to the system of Uganda government. She has this demeanor of a person who is very well connected to both the government of Uganda and the government of US. By just looking at her demeanor, you just know this one is a person I should deal with. So many unsuspecting Ugandans fell victim. They gave her money between $3,000 to $5,000 plus their passport. And when things could not work out, the lady disappeared and has no answers for these people. These people got stranded, they don't have their passports, they don't have the money is gone, passports are gone, and that is when they ran to us to try to find out what happened. This lady has a number of contacts and agents back here in Kampala. And we, of course, mentioned the names like Moses Alina Itwe. This one has now been arrested, Alina Itwe Moses. There's Brian Mukisa, we have Obadiah, we have Agnes. So these people are the ones who used to move around on behalf of the Angela of Kenya and woo people and lure them and talking how they would do. Approach the embassy with ease to have their visas processed, and in the end these people paid colossal sums of money in US dollars and were fleeced. So I want to use this opportunity to call upon Ugandans out there who have thoughts of ever going to America or any other country to first of all, do some due diligence on who wants to take you out. If it's a company, please approach Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development to see if that company is registered. If it is an individual, do some double check. Who is he? Who is she? How many people have he ever taken out? And in that way, you'll be able to discover and find out who to deal with, and you'll not be scammed. Well, the fact that we automated passport systems whereby you have to apply online and then pay online and have your appointment scheduled in itself has eased the process. In fact, these days, you don't have to leave your home to apply for a passport. You can sit at your home while taking a cup of tea at your home and go online, either using a phone, computer, be able to apply for a passport, be able to pay for a passport using mobile money without moving out of your home, and only come out when you are coming here for fingerprints. So you can be home, apply for a passport, pay for a passport, schedule an appointment for a passport, and only leave home when you are coming to have your fingerprints captured from here. in so doing, we have first of all eliminated the third parties to a greater extent who used to confuse people. Because what used then to happen was people used to come here, pick forms, then move around LC1, LC2, LC3, maybe DSO, maybe RDC and stuff like that. All those were cut off. In fact, you don't have to move anywhere. You don't have to know any LC1 or LC2 to endorse your forms for a passport. All you have to do is ensure you have a national ID. So you don't have to move around going to visit. Because we realize that by moving around and seeking endorsement of so many officers, so many people are being fleeced of their money. You would find somebody paying up to the tune of 2 million shillings to have their passport actually processed. So we cut off all those. What you have to do now, if you can't be able to use a computer, maybe you can get somebody who is knowledgeable and whom you trust, who can help you do the filling online. But all in all, this helped to ensure that one, we cut out the third parties, the brokers who used to take people's money. We no longer see them. Two, it is faster in that you don't have to go to LC1, LC2, LC3. Then three, you are sure of the process yourself because it is you who has put in the information, and therefore you are sure of the type of information, the authenticity of the information you have put in the system, because what you put in is what is reflected when we capture your fingerprints. Then three, the system does not segregate that this one comes from here, this one. What the system looks at is it gives serves on first come, first serve basis. If you come early, it will handle you as such. And then the other, of course, the times have changed. It wouldn't have been proper for us. The world is moving to digital solutions, and for us, we are here fidgeting with papers. In fact, coming up now, we are introducing a system of passport pickup, whereby you don't have to come to Chambogo to pick your passport. No. What we shall do, we shall open centers around Kampala and around Uganda generally. These centers, once the passports are applied for, you indicate where you would want to pick your passport from. For instance, if you stay in Nakasongola and you're applying for a passport, you come here, you have your fingerprints done, and you'd want to receive your passport. Indicate that you want to get your passport in Nakasongola. So then after we process these passports, we shall load them onto our truck and transfer them to Nakasongola and load them into what we shall call passport vending machines, and you'll be able to put in your code and your passport will be dispensed to you in Nakasongola, so you will not have to again move to Kampala to have your passport picked. That is something we are working on, and we do hope with government support to achieve this. First of all, I would like to say this, that the electronic passport in itself contains a chip. This electronic passport has a chip, and because it has a chip, this is a sign of a chip. It means that for one to be able to process this passport, you must provide your fingerprint and also the iris. So the system captures the fingerprint, captures the iris as the biometric features. So I want to assure Ugandans out there that no other person can be able to travel on your passport. What happens is there are some people who have been buying Ugandan passports to use them for drug trafficking. because when you are selling drugs, let's say in China, those Chinese find it quite difficult to differentiate between the two Africans. All they can know is this one is a lady, this one is a man. They can't be able to differentiate between two men. So what then happens is they ask you for a passport when you are selling drugs, and what these people do, they pull out Ugandan passports and then they will be able to sell drugs. But those passports are not used for travel. It is true we have had challenges of non-Ugandans in possession of our passports, but it used to be on a large extent, especially the magnitude used to be high during the regime of the old passports. Because these old passports, as you can see, do not have the biometric features in them. It would be very easy for a non-Ugandan, for instance, to travel using this passport, which is not the case now, because now the system captures the biometrics, and for you to be able to use this document, you must have the biometrics embedded in the system. And therefore, the system at the clearance desk must correspond that information with what is already embedded in the system. So it is quite difficult for somebody who is not the owner of this passport to use it to travel. So of course, it has been challenging that those people are buying our passports. It is the reason why I told you that we are now making it quite difficult for people to especially replace lost passports, especially those people who are abroad, especially in areas where we suspect there's foul play, areas where we know there's a lot of fraud, where people actually established a market, a real market of buying these passports at up to a cost of $5,000. So we have put that almost to a stop by inconveniencing these people who sell passports to come to Uganda to have them replaced here. So because of that, there are very few now who are into this business, unless one is willing to pay for this passport at $10,000, which I don't think is the case. So because of that, we are now registering very few cases of, lost cases in Abu Dhabi, lost cases in Saudi Arabia, lost cases in Pretoria, South Africa. So I'm pretty sure that by the end of this year, we shall not have any case of anybody buying a Ugandan passport, because it will be costly for them. First, it will be costly, two, it will be inconveniencing, and three, it will not be easy for you to even be able to use it. And then, because of the fact that we are also giving people a lot of information, awareness, we have made it risky for those people who have been buying these books. We keep telling them, and we shall continue saying so, that you'd be wasting your money to buy this book, because it will not be able to help you. We realized that there was a reason why this has been happening, which we want to put to an end. One, we realized that most of these people are those who don't actually apply for passports themselves online. These are the people who are using third parties to apply for passports, and it normally happened on these ladies who go for labor in Saudi and those other places. So what happened, a person would come and apply for a passport for another person, and now we have this section of putting contacts, the telephone number, the email address, and stuff like that. So what we realized, one manager of a certain labor export company, who applied for 1,000 girls to get passports, and in all those applications on the system, he will put his number, telephone number. He will put the same telephone number. Now, when those passports are made ready, all the messages and the information concerning the availability and the readiness of the passport will go to that manager. And now just imagine the manager receiving 1,000 SMS, 1,000 messages. Is he going to read all of them? No. And worst of all, these girls, after they apply for passports, they go back to their villages to wait. So the manager, there he is with 1,000 messages on his phone. One, he would not know which passport for which girl is ready, is made available. So he ignores. So that is the reason number one. The second one is some people were putting numbers which were not correct. They were making mistakes in their telephone numbers. They missed one digit. Instead of 0776, somebody put 0775, and the system delivers the message in another destination, and if the original owner, they cannot see the message. Those funny mistakes. Then in some rare cases, some people were not even putting telephone numbers. Somebody puts, of course it is not mandatory for the system to move without, so some people are ignoring telephone contacts. So when the passport is made ready, there's no way the system will dispatch a message that the passport is ready. So these are some of the reasons why you see. But we have been trying to reach out to these people in social media. We have been sending some people SMSs. Those few we have had to get their contacts. Now the majority of these, of course, used their managers to apply for this passport, and whenever we try to call, the call will end up with the manager. We call it with the manager. We call with the manager. And the manager also has since then forgotten about who applied for a passport and which type of passport, where is the applicant. So that's the challenge. And we still have quite a number of these passports in our stores in Chambogo. A few months ago, we banned some of these. We incinerated some of these passports, especially those which had stayed there for a very long time. We burnt them off because our stores were full. Even these ones we have now, time will come when we can no longer hold them. We shall burn them off. But of course we have done our level best to ensure that the original applicants of these passports pick them.